Hello dear friends, and welcome to our June 2020 speculation setting A paper 1. For patronage to our team, please use the contact on screen for this paper and corrections. Subscribe and click on the link below. Stay tuned for settings B, C, and D. You can access our blog gcemathpanel.blogspot.com for other past GCE papers, and you can send an email using the contact on screen. Let's now take the first question of this speculation. Simplify 3 minus 4 divided by 8 times 2, all in brackets. So this expression actually needs BODMAS. So we start with the times, so giving us 2.75 as answer. Question 2. The multiplicative identity element in the set of natural numbers is. When you multiply any number by this, the number remains unchanged or the same. So the multiplicative identity element in the set of naturals is 1. Note, the set of naturals is also called the set of cardinal numbers. Question 3. The number 0.06 times 1.14 in standard form is. Just multiply on calculator, then adjust to standard form. This gives us 0.068. and move the decimal marker 2 places to the right. We now have 6.84 times 10 to the power minus 2. Question 4. The smallest number that can divide 6 and 14 is. This number is the highest common factor, also called the greatest common divisor, the GCD. And the GCD of 6 and 14 is 2. The GMT is an hour behind Cameroon time. Your grandfather is a Chelsea fan and the match will be at 11:45 a.m. GMT time. What time must you give your grandfather who is in Cameroon? You need to give your granddad Cameroon time and just add 1 hour to get the Cameroon time. So 11:45 a.m. plus 1 hour gives us 12:45 p.m. Take notes here. The answer is not 12:45 a.m. but 12:45 p.m. Question 6. Convert 25% to a decimal fraction. A decimal fraction is a fraction whose denominator is a power of 10. So 25% gives us 25 on 100, and this is the decimal fraction. The ratio of the length to the average width of a wedding gown is 1.6 meters to 40 centimeters. Express this ratio in its simplest form. The first thing to do here is to make the units to be the same. So that gives us 1,600 centimeters is to 40 centimeters. And when we divide both sides by the smallest, which is 40 centimeters, we have a ratio of 40:1. Cindy sells protective masks at the pharmacy against coronavirus. She makes a gain of 2,000 francs per pack, a profit of 25% the purchase price. The percentage selling price is. Note that percentage selling price is given by percentage cost price, which is 100% always, plus percentage gain. If it was a loss, we will have 100% minus percentage loss, but it's a gain, so we add. So percentage selling price is going to give us 100% plus 25%, which is 125%. How long will it take for the simple interest to be equal to the principal invested in a business at 20% per annum? Here we are required to look for the time taken for simple interest to be equal to the amount invested, which is the principal. So let the simple interest be x. This means that the principal will also be x. Thus, putting this in our formula, we will have principal, which is x times rate times time, to be equal to x. And when we solve that, we will have the time to be 5 years. Question 10. The government in 2020 gives a decision that the closest distance which is safe between two people should be 2 meters. On a map where 1 centimeter represents 50 centimeters on land, this distance will be. So first of all, we have to convert 2 meters to centimeters, and we use the ratio and finally cross multiply. So we have 1 to 50 and x to 200. When we cross multiply, we have our x. to be 200 times 1 and 50, which is 4 centimeters on the map. Base 10 numbers are called deci, and deci represents 10. Your brother in the United States of America is about to pay the bride price of his dream queen here in Cameroon, all things being equal. How much will the amount be in dollars if the bride price is 600,000 FCFA and if $1 equals 500 FCFA? So here we have to convert FCFA to dollars, and $1 equals 500 FCFA according to the equation. Therefore, how many dollars is going to give us 600,000 FCFA? When you cross multiply, the value gives us $1,200. In the number 25, 1 is the power. Normally, when 25 has been raised to the power 1, we have 25. So the only correct option here is A. The weight of a pregnant woman increases by 0.5 kilograms each month from the 3rd month of pregnancy. If her weight is 56 kilograms on the 3rd month, what will be this weight at the time of delivery, considering that the delivery period is 9 months? So this is actually a sequence, and we have 6 Ds from the 3rd month to delivery, where D is the common difference with a value of 0.5 kilograms. So we have 56 kilograms plus 6 times the common difference, which gives us 59 kilograms. Which of these is a measure is not a measure of central tendency? The measures of central tendency include the mode, the mean, and the median. And standard deviation is not one of them. It rather measures dispersion or scattering of data. The number of regions in the figure shown is... Now this question is so much tricky. Note, a region is bounded by 3 or more arcs. Let us look at the regions that you have here. Normally we have 3 regions and not 4. I'm going to show you how to do the counting. So that's the first region, 1, the next region, that's 2, and the third region is the region outside. This is the last region. So we have 3 regions in total. 2 tenants A and B share electricity bill in the ratio 4:5. What fraction will A pay if B was not there for the month? This question is direct because if B was not there for the month, then the other person has to pay everything. In this case, it's going to pay 9 or 1. The distance from home to school is 30 minutes. James left home at 7 a.m. and midway he recalled he'd forgotten his maths homework at home, and the maths man is a flogging master. He goes back for the book. When does he arrive school? So his time actually delays by 15 plus 15 minutes, because from house to midway is actually half the time, which is 15 minutes. Then he returns to the house, which is another 15 minutes, so he delays by 30 minutes. Now he has to travel from home to school, which is another 30 minutes. So the total time here will give us 15 plus 15, which is 30 minutes, and the normal travel time, a total of 60 minutes. So he finally arrives school at 8 a.m. That's 7 a.m. plus an hour. The symbol for at least is, normally at least means greater than or equal to. So the only option here is C. If P is the statement I love maths, then the negation of P is double negation is the same as no effect, so P remains unchanged. So the answer is I love maths. Given that expression, it is read as y is directly proportional to 1 on x. So the only correct answer here is A. Question 22. If A is that matrix, then A transpose has order. When we transpose, the order reverses. Normally, this matrix has order 2 rows to 3 columns. So the transpose will have an order of, instead of having 2 is to 3, it's going to have 3 is to 2, or 3 by 2, sorry. The angle 105 degrees is, normally this angle lies between 90 and 180, so it is an obtuse angle. Acute angles are angles less than 90 and reflex above 180. The internal angle of a regular polygon is 120 degrees. How many sides has the polygon? The number of sides is actually given by 360 degrees divided by the external angle. And to get the external angle, we have 180 minus internal angle. So the external angle here is 60 degrees. And the number of sides will be given by 360 degrees divided by this external angle, giving us a total of 6 sides for this polygon. So this is actually a hexagon. Figure 2 shows the net of A. When you build this net shown, the model is a pyramid, just like the pyramids of Egypt. And you can see the symbol or the nets being built up to form that model shown there. So it's actually a pyramid. And don't forget to subscribe and click on the notifications. You can get to our blog on gcmathpanel.blogspot.com. Thank you so much. We continue the next question. Question 26. If 2 to the power 2x minus 1 equals 1, then x equals. First make the bases the same and equate the powers. So we have 2 to the power 2x minus 1 equals 2 to the power 0. Now equating the powers, since the bases are the same, we have 2x minus 1 equals 0, and when you solve, we have x equals a half. The quadratic equation represented in figure 3 is, the root of this equation occurs at the x-intercepts. These are the points where the curve cuts the x-axis, and the values here are 0 and 4. So we can work backwards to form this equation. X minus 0 times x minus 4 equals 0. But x minus 0 is 0, so we just have x into x minus 4 equals 0. That's this quadratic equation. The rotation matrix through 180 degrees is, for 180 degrees rotation, just change the signs of the 2 by 2 identity matrix. Normally, the general rotation formula is given by cos theta minus sin theta, cos theta. You can use this formula to get any rotation matrix that is being asked for. For example, for clockwise 90 degrees, theta is 90. When you put these values inside, you will have the case of B there. If they ask for anti-clockwise rotation, it means theta is minus 90. Put this value in this formula and you get the answer in that's just the case of C. If they ask for 180 degrees rotation, whether clockwise or anti-clockwise, the values are the same, you have the case of A. And for 0 degrees rotation, theta equals 0, and you have the case of D, which is the identity matrix. So our result in this particular question is A. Which of these is a factor of the polynomial p of x? Ax plus b is a factor if f of minus b on a equals 0. So we have to test each of them. Let's take the first one. So for the first one, you have x plus 1 equals 0, implying that x equals minus 1. And f of minus 1 will give us minus 1 to the power 3 minus 2 into minus 1 minus 1, which is 0. Since the result is 0, we conclude that x plus 1 is a factor. And question 30, if a equals minus 1 and b equals 5, then b to the power a minus 1 equals. So we just have to substitute the values and simplify. B to the power a minus 1 will be equal to 5 to the power minus 1 minus 1, which is minus 2, and it's the same as 1 on 5 to the power 2, which is 1 on 25. 31. Sin x equals 3 on 5, and then cos x in the second quadrant will be. Note that the cosine is negative in the second quadrant. So when we come out with our right angle triangle, the missing side will be 4, and cos theta will be equal to 4 on 5. But the question says second quadrant. So my answer will no more be positive 4 on 5, is now going to be negative 4 on 5. That's why the result here is A. 32. Given the figure 4 below, OA plus AC plus CB equals. Now in this case, we note that the vectors OA and CB are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So if you add the two, the result is 0. So OA plus AC plus CB will just be equal to AC, which is B, because from O to A is A, and from C to B is minus A, so those two cancel out. We left the 0 vector. 33, the matrix product that is, so we have to do matrix multiplication here, and looking at this, it is actually compatible, or students usually say it's possible. So we have row 1 of the first matrix times the column 1 of the second matrix, that gives us 10, and row 2 of the first matrix times column 1 of the second matrix, that gives us 21, and this matrix is 10, 21. Find the angle x in degrees in figure 5 shown. 120 degrees and x add up to 180 degrees. So 120 plus x gives us 180. X here will be equal to 180 minus 120, which is 60 degrees. Base 10 numbers are called deci, and deci represents 10. Simplifying log 4, log 64 to the power 1/3 base 4 will give us the cube root of 64 is equal to 4. So we can replace this in that expression. That gives us log 4 base 4, and log 4 base 4 is equal to 1. The log of a number to the same base is 1. The bearing of B from A in degrees in figure 6 is, bearings are measured from north clockwise. So I have to start at A and go clockwise, and that total angle there is going to be 180 degrees plus the 30 degrees, which is equal to 210 degrees. That's the bearing. The angle x in figure 7, where O is the center of the circle, equals, this angle subtended by the diameter is 90 degrees. In fact, any angle subtended by the diameter is 90 degrees. The value of x here is 90 degrees. Figure 8 has a square of sides 14 centimeters. The area of the shaded portion in squared centimeters is, when you look at this figure very well, and when we join the two shaded areas, it forms a half circle. And the radius of this circle is 14 divided by 2, which is 7 centimeters. So the area of this half circle will be pi radius squared on 2, which is 49 pi on 2. Question 40, find x in that equation. We bring like terms together. On the left hand side, you have minus 3x minus, instead of minus 6x and a half plus 6x equals, on the right hand side, 6 minus 15. So 3x equals minus 9 and x equals minus 3. 41, the midpoint of the points AX, A with coordinates xy and B 0, 5 is the point 2, 2. Point A has coordinates. Midpoint is the middle of a line segment. So that's the average x values and y values. So according to this question, we have x plus 0, that's for the points A and B. The x values, x plus 0 on 2, and the y values, y plus 5 on 2, should give us this midpoint, which is 2, 2. And equating, we have x plus 0 on 2 equals 2, and y plus 5 on 2 equals 2. And when we solve, we have x equals 4 and y equals minus 1. Question 42, the vectors I plus j and minus I minus j are, two vectors are parallel if one is a scalar multiple of the other. And when we factorize the second one, we will have minus into 1 plus I, which is equal to the first vector. So we conclude that these two vectors are parallel. A root of the quadratic equation 2x squared minus 9x equals 0 is, the only root here is 0, and we observe that when we factorize, we have x into 2x minus 9 equals 0. X equals 0 or x equals 9 on 2. The only answer that's shown as an alternative here is 0. The pie chart in figure 4 has a mode of, the mode is the sector with the largest area. In terms of frequency, we talk about the largest frequency. and we find out that A and B are both 90 degrees, and those values are the largest values there. So we have two modes in this particular question, and the modes will be A and B. Question 46. Two mutually exclusive events A and B are such that probability of A equals a third and probability of B equals a half. Find the probability of A intersection B. Mutually exclusive means the two events can never occur at the same time. Thus, the probability is equal to 0. Figure 10 represents the interval. This question concerns intervals, and on the left hand side it is open because the zero or the O is not shaded. Right hand side is closed, so this is a half interval. It is opened at 2 and closed at 5 and represented as shown. 47. The y-intercept of the line represented by the equation 3x minus 2y is equals 4 is. The first thing is to express the equation in the gradient intercept form, which is y equals mx plus c. So we have 3x minus 4 equals 2y, and dividing all through by 2, we have 3x on 2 minus 2 equals y. Here our y will be equal to 3x on 2 minus 2, and the y-intercept is minus 2. The gradient is 3 on 2, though they have not asked for. The gradient is 3 on 2. 48. Given the table below for the scores of students in the math test online, we have 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20, and those numbers of students. The median class is the middle, but since you're working with classes, we need to get the total. The total number of students, we have 18 plus 14 plus 30 plus 1, which is 63, and this number is odd. So to get the middle, we add 1 to it since it's odd and divide by 2. The median occurs at the 32nd position. Now let us do the cumulative frequencies. 18 plus 14 gives us 32 directly, which is the 32nd position, and this occurs at 6 to 10. So the median class is 6 to 10. 49. The volume scale of two similar solid figures is 16:54. Find the ratio of their length of sides. The ratio of length is given by the cube root of the volume ratio. So the cube root of 16 on 54, note that 16 on 54 can be simplified to give us 8 on 27. The cube root of this number is 2 on 3. So the ratio of their length is 2 to 3. And last question but not the least, given the probability tree in figure 11, which consists of drawing two successive balls from an urn, find the probability of A intersection A prime. Note, probability of A intersection A prime is equal to probability of A intersection B. That is, the first ball is A and the second ball is B. In this case, we'll have 3 on 8 times 5 on 7, since the probabilities are independent events. And that gives us 15 on 56. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and to visit our blog on gcemathpanel.blogspot.com.